Today we're going to disable the auto stop start system on a Honda. Let's get to it. This is what we'll be working on today, a 2021 Acura RDX. Now, the owner of this vehicle doesn't like the automatic idle stop start feature on this vehicle, and so we're going to try to disable it. Now, of course, after you start the vehicle, we could press this off button here and that will disable our automatic idle stop feature until the next time we start the vehicle, but they don't want to have to be bothered with this. They just want to get in, start the vehicle, and just like vehicles have always done, it runs until we turn it off. So that's what we're going to try to do today. The way we're going to disable this system is by installing this idle stopper. The owner bought this. I haven't used these yet, but this is what I'll be installing today in order to disable the system. Alright, here's what it looks like. That's what you get. Looks like we also get some other goodies in here too. Now, I'm not affiliated with these guys, so I have no idea if this works or not. If it works, great, I'll tell you. If it sucks, I'll tell you that too. We are going to have to take some things apart in order to install it. Basically, we're going to be plugging it in line with this button here. And because it's a computer module that basically disables the system every time, we will need to tap into power. So we're going to tap into the accessory power that's down below. Now, everything is pretty much plug and play. I don't even think we'll need any tools. Maybe, a little trim tool to get this stuff apart. Just depends on what you're working on. Sometimes you can pop everything apart without tools. Some vehicles you're going to need, screwdriver, whatnot, to get certain panels and pieces out in order to get to your button. But you're definitely going to need to get to this button no matter what you're working on. And you're probably going to need to tap into power, which is usually going to be your little 12-volt accessory power. And that's what this does too. You can see that's our plug right there. So we'll start taking things apart and get this thing installed. Alright, we got to pop this piece out here. So we'll just open the glove compartment and then just pop it out. It's just a series of clips. We got to be careful not to break things. Just like that. Now we'll do the same with this side. Now we just got to be careful. We have our start button up here that we'll have to unplug. Come on. I'm trying to get out of the way of the shop for you, but that didn't work out. There we go. Now, we can't quite get to our connector back here yet, so we got to pop this piece out so we can get some more stuff out. Let me just pop it like that, and we should be able to pop the rest of it. Just be careful. It could be tight. Alright, that's good enough. We just got to be able to get our hands back here. Alright, now we got to pop this out. Hopefully this little guy is not in the way. But just to see if we can't pop it out without breaking things. It's all plastic. There we go. Now it's loose. Now we just got to unplug it back there. Alright, now we got to get this piece out so we can get access to the connector for this button here. So usually we can just do the same thing. It's just clips that we got to work free. And if we're careful, we can just pop it all out without breaking stuff. Come on. One last one. Alright, there we go. Now it's free. Now if we just lift it up, we can turn it a little bit. And that green connector right there, that's what we need to get to. So let's just go ahead and unplug it right now. Come on. There we go. Alright, on this vehicle, our 12-volt accessory power is right here, right underneath this little cover here. So we need to get behind here to plug our module in. So we need to get these little trim pieces off. This piece is clipped into this one, so we just got to be careful when separating, but they're all just clipped in just like everything else. But we should be able to get up under here and just kind of take them apart like that. They definitely sound like they're gonna break, but hopefully we don't. Come on, you can do it. And there we go. although this thing is clipped in everywhere, we just got to remember that, you know, sometimes on certain models you'll have things like this where it's kind of a little hook right here that hooks right there. So you just got to be careful when you're ripping stuff apart. Just if it feels like it's not quite coming apart, you know, maybe try to take a peek back there or something and see if there's a hook or anything like that. All right, there's our plug right behind there, the one we have to get to. I could probably reach it, but I think we can just pop this out of our way. Come on. There we go. Now we just need access to this. We just squeeze the tab and get it off. So this tab, you squeeze kind of the front right there and you can shimmy it off. This is the only one we need to unplug though, right there. All right, here is our unit. So this portion right here is going to connect in line with our 12-volt power source that we just unplugged. And then our control unit up here is just going to connect in line with our idle stop button here. And then we just need to route it down behind so that it stays out of the way and doesn't rattle and things like that. So for this vehicle, I put a little orange marker so you can see where I'm going to route this. Hopefully you can see it goes right through there and then down right there by our connector. Got the wires routed down through there, so now all we need to do is plug it in. All right, as far as plugging stuff up, obviously this plug is our original plug that goes to our button here. So we need to plug that into our idle stopper, and now it's in line. So now this should be plugged into the vehicle, just like that. And for our plug down here, let's see, this should plug directly into this, and then this plugs in here. How does that go? Like that? Just like that. All right, now that's power right there. Well, one's power and one's ground. We don't want that exposed like that. It could touch metal and break or pop fuses, so we don't want that. So we're going to cover that up with some electrical tape. All right, I got it zip tied in place. We got some electrical tape there to protect the wiring. And just remember, whenever you route wires, keep them away from clips like this one right here. And up here, they included some foam in the packing. Not a lot, but a little bit. So I put some foam on this and I put some foam tape on this, and then I zip tied this to the wiring harness. So it shouldn't rattle around. Now this is rattling around until I plug them in, but at least this is nice and secure and it shouldn't rattle. All right, now we can start getting everything snapped into place. Just be careful of this one. Really, this should be snapped in after this one, because you will bend that little tab that's right up in there. But now we got it squared away. Now we can snap it in place. So yeah, just be careful when you put that back in. If you just try to smash it in, you'll bend it. So line it up first and get that one in first and get the rest of them. And we'll get this one in. Hey, where'd you go? Definitely want to get that one in the back started first. All right, now we'll get this one snapped into place. Of course, you want to make sure all your clips are lined up. Just be sure not to pinch any of the wiring back here when you put this module in. All right, we'll plug our control panel back in. And get it snapped in gently. All right, now we'll get this snapped back into place. It can be a little finicky. You gotta take your time with it. Make sure these clips are lined up. And make sure you hear it snap into place. All right, we'll get this piece back into place. Of course, we have to plug it in first. All right, we'll get this piece back into place. All right, let's fire this thing up and see if it works. Now, we could have fired it up before we snapped all the plastic back in, but I would have had to plug everything back in or I would risk setting trouble codes, and I didn't want to do that. So we'll take a chance that we won't have to take it back apart. Now, the way it works is we hit the start and the engine will fire up, and then within a few seconds, our symbol for our auto stop should show on the dash. I don't remember where it is on this vehicle, but it should light up after a few seconds, and that means the system is disabled. And then I do believe that we can hit the button again and re-enable it if we wanted to. It would work normally. It just kind of works the opposite, where it's automatically disabled, and then if we want to turn it on, we hit the button. So let's try it out. Alright, starting up. Whoa, the seat's moving. Help me. Alright, where are you at? Where is it? Okay, well, it flashed right there, and then there's our symbol down there. So we're good to go. Now let's try turning it back on. So we hit the button. Can you see both? Here, let me try both. Hit the button, and there we go. Now the system is enabled, or we can go back to disabling it again. But that's nice that now that the owner doesn't have to remember to do that. You just start it up and drive. System will automatically be disabled. Designed and manufactured in the USA. Seems like a decent product. I'd probably stay away from anything from eBay or Amazon that only costs 15 or 20 bucks, especially when you have a nice vehicle like this. But anyway, this is one way to disable the auto stop feature on these things. And as always, if the video helped you out or you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.